Tobago Thursdays continues here on the Now Morning Show as conversations surrounding how women empowerment and women in general can be supported this International Women's Day continues. To have that conversation, we're joined by Mr. Nigel Phillip, the Gender Officer for the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, as he's going to tell us this morning how we can reach assistance to women. Good morning, Nigel, and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Hi, good morning to you and to the wider public who are listening this morning.
Like I told you before, I appreciate the solidarity in wearing the purple hue, if you will, of his shirt. But more than that, you are lending support in the form of programs, activities, and discussions that will help to elevate the plight of women. Before you tell us how, tell us what exactly R.E.A.C.H stands for.
Oh, okay. So the REACH program is a particular unit and a program in the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. The REACH acronym means Realization of Economic Achievement, which is R.E.A.C.H. And it offers grant funding for persons who want to go into a small business. That grant, you can have access from $15,000, where you can start a business to start doing something for yourself, in empowerment to yourself, and to help your family and to enhance your life of living.
Mm-hmm. And in that case, it means that you guys have had some sort of structure, some sort of goals and ideals that you abide by to achieve these objectives. Can you give us a little bit
But
of insight as the core principles of REACH?
okay, so the REACH program was really designed out of the gender unit, where it is that vulnerable women who comes into the unit who are unemployed and who didn't have any support system. And that unit was designed where you provide some sort of support, where you encourage women to go into business, where you encourage women to do something for themselves, to help their family. Because sometimes these women who comes into us or to the units are most times, sometimes single parent women or single women with children or a family to maintain. So that unit was basically designed to alleviate poverty or to give you a form of empowerment where you can help in your family providing that assistance for your family.
Right? Now, the way that you guys do that has taken many forms. There have been a number of initiatives over the course of the years to help that happen. So tell me a little bit about the latest endeavor that is planned in commemoration of this year's International Women's Day theme to foster inclusion.
Okay, so when we talk about inclusion, is how can we include women in the conversation? How can we include women in drafting policies? How can we include women in terms of having that equality of pay gap? How can we include women in terms of the services that women have to access? And when we talk about those things, is that when we talk about the unit itself, the unit is basically is that how can we inspire women to actually do something for themselves? Because sometimes our women are in situations where they can't do anything for themselves because of their relationship or because of the kind of family settings that they are part of, where they can't move forward. And sometimes women come into us because they go through different things. For example, various forms of violence or gender-based violence. They go through different forms of embarrassment or in insults in terms of trying to access certain services. In other words, sometimes it is said to them it is a man's will, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they don't have that equality to the same services, or yourself they have the equality to the same services. It's just that it is limited to a certain amount of women being included in those services to access those services. So it still have some disparity to where some of the services are awarded to women, and women needed to be more in a discussion in terms of how they can have that inclusion, to have a voice, to say, what they can add to the table, what they can bring to the discussion to help improve policies or to even draft policies that will have them included.
Beautiful stuff. I love the fact that we are talking not just on the individual basis, but at contributions to wider society. When we talked about drafting bills or any sorts of statements of that magnitude, it is well beyond just your community. But let's take it down a notch, because what you are offering this time around in terms of competition or motivation, if you will, is actually carded towards an individual or two with winnings that could take them to a little bit of a comfort spot, if you will. Tell me more about it.
Well, coming out of this competition, coming out of the gender unit, I would say, is that we decided to have a competition to where persons could go onto our Facebook page and our link and the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. And you will see a competition that will be launched from there from tomorrow, which will be launched on the day itself, where persons to talk about the theme, which is to inspire and to have inclusion. And we want persons to upload a 30 seconds video, and going to the page will tell you everything about the competition. And to upload that 30 seconds video about the team, where it says you have to share the team, where you have to share the page and to like the page, and to actually look to see the various other services in the division. So the whole ideology is that for persons to learn more about the services that the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection offers. We have a wealth of services, as well to know more about the gender unit, or to talk about whatever it is that you can have the access to come into the division itself to have the various services offered to you. So the price that is being offered is a 2 night stay at the competence suites with breakfast and dinner for two persons. So I would really encourage for persons to participate as much as possible in that competition.
This is, of course, specific to persons in Tobago itself, and I imagine Tobago
Primarily,
nationals primarily.
I would say primarily. I don't want to say there's any prejudice in that, but yeah, I would encourage person to go and just look at the page and see what it has to offer. Look at the services, and just make yourself familiar with it. So yes, to Tobago, for those other fellow Tobagonians out there, they could also have as much input in terms of what in terms of entering the competition and talking about the team intrusion inclusion.
All right. So, Nigel, once we are talking about the division, it can go across health, wellness, and social protection in terms of that 1 minute video, that is. Is it advised that it
30
must
seconds.
include all factors, or focus on one of them?
No,
What are we
they're
looking for in that
focusing
30-second video? Sorry.
they're focusing on the team, the International Women's Day team, which is
Right.
intrusion, and they are going to speak about the team. Tell us about the team. What do you think the team means to you? The team, and just to give you an example, what is to have inclusion in our society to where women is concerned, right? You're talking about maybe how we can make it better, how that can be enhanced. I talk about the policy to say, okay, we should have more policy to address more women issues. How can we empower our young girls? How can we address issues of sexism, right? Authority and those things to where women are concerned, disrespect. So you talk about the team and you gauge the conversation in terms that women should be more respected in areas, because you see across borders that women in positions and leadership roles, they're disrespected, right? They're disrespected in a sense in terms of their power, in terms of their authority, in whatever way it is that they are disrespected. You see politicians, women politicians are being disrespected in so many things. So it is still a man's world where men think, sometimes in authority, but the level of disrespect goes out to women is another level that also have to be addressed. So when you talk about intrusion, including women in the discussion, including women in the talks, how can we address various issues? So we're looking at the team inclusion, intrusion, and talk to us more about the team. Tell us what you want to see happen. Tell us where you should see where a woman is going, or even self in your own space. Is that okay? As a woman, is that this is how I was able to empower myself to be where I am today.
Beautiful. Now, Nigel, as a gentleman and an ally, if you will, in the fight towards gender equality and positivity all around as we celebrate International Women's Day, I'd like you in closing to leave us with a bit of a message, perhaps how you plan to celebrate or what wishes you share with us, the females of Trinidad and Tobago, as we head into this auspicious day.
I would say basically don't limit yourself. As some female may think that they may not aspire to be in whatever position or what they want to be in life. Don't limit yourself. You set boundaries, and when you set those boundaries, you aim to those to the and you aim to your dreams of what you want to do. And when you limit yourself, you will say to yourself, you cannot reach or achieve those goals. So again, challenge norms, challenge, everything that you're not comfortable with, and achieve to the best of the ability that you can achieve in your life.
A beautiful way to wrap the conversation. I say thank you very much for joining us this morning, Mr. Phillip. Nigel Phillip, the Gender Officer of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, bringing us greetings as we head into International Women's Day tomorrow and reminding us of the R.E.A.C.H Assistance Program, making sure that ladies feel empowered and are rewarded for showing it. Thank you again for joining us, Nigel.
Welcome. Take care. Bye.